Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I'm your big only sis, Calla Nevermelt, with yet another episode review of Digimon Beatbreak, episode 12. And ladies and gentlemen, we finally managed to get it. We have finally gotten Gekumon's evolution. However, before I really dive into that, because again, I will say it was worth the hype, it was worth the wait, and I do understand, why they decided to go with this route. Let's first start with the beginning, where we kind of finish off where we left off, with the fire dude basically, leaving, telling them that, hey, there's bigger fish to fry kind of thing, and we find out about the World Union. Now, we later find out that the World Union is basically the puppet master, the big boys, the ones who are really truly pulling the strings. Yes, there's the face, but these guys again are kind of just behind the scenes, and I absolutely just love this because again it just adds more to the lore. But anyway, we then have, of course, they are back at the Glowing Dawn, and we have Gekomon that's now a Kekomon, who is absolutely terrified of Tomoro, and rightfully so, because again, the last episode, Tomoro was like, I wish you weren't even born, basically, to which really shattered, Gekomon to pieces, and again, rightfully so. So of course, the other two Digimon, Chirpmon, and I forgot the other one's name, I'm sorry. But they try to, cheer him up and everything. Meanwhile, we get a little bit of backstory with Kyo. Now, as we know, he clearly knows a thing or two about the whole world union, the big boys, the 5 stars. And the main reason why he knows about the 5 stars is because 11 years ago, he used to work for them. He was, well, actually, to be fair, at first he was just a random cleaner, and we get to see Androidmon, which was pretty cool. And then we get to, see Androidmon, get smoked, and mysterious individuals who clearly work for the 5 star of the World Union show up like, hey, listen, join me or else. Kyo's like, okay, cool, and we see, by the way, a different personality, a different tone to Kyo. Instead of just being the laid-back, kind of serious type, he is more, I guess you could say, feisty. He's looking for a fight. He is ready for the smoke. And so, he takes a place, he takes a seat at the 5 stars. We already know who the fire guy is, but Kyo used to be the gold member, the gold star. Of course, we get to see who the new gold member is now, but he later is like, hey, listen, this really ain't for me, and he prefers to kind of just do things with him, as a family, as a team, rather than just, basically working for a corrupted system, if you will. But then, he turns to like, Tomorrow, like, hey, listen, you were kinda, being a douchebag, kinda not cool, things like that. So, Kekomon runs away, and Reina's like, hey, listen, why don't you go after him? To which he's like, nah, I just can't. Not because he's an asshole or anything, but because he just can't face him. And so we see that he goes back to, the next shot, we see that he's with his brother again, kind of remembering, the events from the last episode. And we see that clearly he used to be a drummer. He mentions that he never could find the right beat, if you will. But his brother was always there to kind of support him no matter what. And like we already know, his brother was always there for him since his mom and dad went to prison. So his bro decided to quit school to help him. And we see later that some things escalated, but not before we see that Marine Bullmon, which I gotta say, the design of this dude is pretty cool. But through the dimensions, Marine Bullmon basically busts out, and this guy is a perfect level Digimon. In other words, a serious threat, right under Mega, which I do wonder when will they go up against the Mega, Digimon, but that's here nor there. So anyway, so of course, the huge issue is Marine Bullmon is going to be walking toward the Glowing Dawn in the exact same path. Of course, your typical kind of plot stuff, right? Like of course, the same path that this giant monstrosity that's just wanting to destroy things is going. Just what happens to be the same path that the main character's home base is. So of course, the other Digimon are called in like, hey, listen, shit's in the fan, but we get to see a little bit of a backstory with Tomoro and his brother. Again, his bro quit school to take care of him due to his parents got arrested, and we see some correlations between his bro and Tomoro and Gekomon, where his brother was just kind of looking out for him, not telling him a lot of things because he didn't want to, worry him. And Tomoro was like, hey, listen, no, I don't want to be left in the dark like that. And of course, we get that classic "I hate you" line. In every single piece of media like this, there's always the line of "I hate you," to basically show just how strong the emotion is and whatnot. But as for having this flashback, Tomoro is, tackled by Kekomon, who's trying to tell him that, hey, listen, shit's about to hit the fan. However, though, due to Kekomon, can't speak, he has to swallow the little, egg device to become, Gekomon again. And it's like, hey, listen, don't you know, we need to, save, the Glowing Dawn before it gets dismantled. And again, I absolutely love this scene, and looking at it, it makes sense. It makes sense, because let's be real, we're already aware of the whole anger field evolution, right? Well, in other types of evolutions, but this right here, I believe is a bit unique and a bit different. I'm not going to say yes, I'm not going to say no, but now I understand why they decide to wait so long to evolve Gekomon. Because we see in this scene, Gekomon's like, hey, why aren't you telling me anything? And basically starts to chew out Tomoro, to which Tomoro gets like this deja vu thing going on. I was like, holy shit, wait a minute. That's literally what I said. That's what I said to my brother. And again, the self-reflection, and also remember when it comes to Digimon and their partners, they are basically the same personality. They have understand each other, that kind of thing. But anywho, as we shoot back to the fight, everyone is pretty much getting smoked. Like Wolvermon isn't doing too well, Nitropmon isn't doing too well. Everyone is just getting the smoke by Marine Bullmon, and he then just uses this giant cannon that turns everyone back into their rookie stage. And sadly, even Kugamon is getting smoked. So in that classic again trope, it looks like all hope is lost. At the last second, before they get smoked, Gekomon comes in, kicks in the face. Gets the attack to, go somewhere else, but Gekomon is sadly, losing some HP, if you will, due to he doesn't have enough E-pulse. And before Marine Bullmon can, smash him with his hand, Tomoro comes in and saves him. And then he finally, kinda, opens up to Gekomon, like, hey, being with you, it basically reminds me of, everything that he hates of himself, and we get that amazing bond with the two characters. He's finally opening up. basically Gekomon has helped him, through all of this. And we also see another flashback where his brother, is comforting him, saying, "Hey, listen, spending time with you right now is amazing. It's great." And so it's not, well, basically it's not all bad. And he is grateful at the end of the day for Gekomon. Then we get this scene. I loved this scene. First, we get the cool panel of them standing in the whole transformation, and then we get um we get Omurizamon. I hope to God I said that correctly. And fun fact, everyone. So I found this out by the way, but apparently Omurizamon is based on the armadillo-girded lizard, a found species of lizard, and well, it's spiky, and people making memes about being a dragon. But I absolutely love, since I have the animal-loving autism, I absolutely loved this little factoid. And so, Armored Lizardmon is smoking Marine Bullmon. And I just love this scene. I loved this, fight sequence. Especially the final, burst where, if I'm not mistaken, it was called the, it was called the, oh yeah, the neutron laser. That's what it was. Neutron laser, and it pierced, Marine Bullmon through the heart, giving him a bad name, and he is to blame. Yes, I had to make that reference. And we then get, again, this. I'm gonna be honest with you, chat. I'm really gonna be honest. Armored Lizardmon is my favorite champion. Don't get me wrong, Greymon is cool, but this design just looked way cooler, more details, and just I don't really know how to explain it. It's just absolutely cool as hell. And then we cut to basically see, well, the new no, the new villain, if you will, the new member of the or the leader, whatever, of the golden 5-star seat, Canada, I believe his name is, who of course has the Gokumon, to no one's surprise. And so I look forward to seeing, when this guy meets Tomoro. But overall, though, now with that out of the way, now that we have all the Digimon champions, just like when you play, just like when playing Digimon Time Strangers, I now look forward to the ultimate evolutions. I want to see the ultimate evolutions of Wolvermon, Armored Lizardmon, Night Turtmon, and all of that. I want to see what they look like. And also before I forget, chat, we then get a very wholesome scene where Tomoro, well, introduces Gekomon to his brother. And it is, again, very sweet, very cute. I love this episode. I loved this episode. We finally get the evolution that we've been waiting for 12 episodes. And it makes sense. It makes sense why it took this long, because we needed the character journey and all of that. Where, Tomoro finally realized, I need to stop being an asshole and start opening up. So, overall, this episode was great. Loved it. I love Gekomon's champion design. 10 out of 10. And I look forward to seeing the ultimate evolutions now. Like, what is the ultimate evolutions of each of the characters going to look like? And then the mega evolutions. But with that being said and done, though, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And until next time, bye!